Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Reading Your Comments, April 2025 edition. Every comment I'll be reading in here today is from videos that I did in April of 2025. Almost all the reaction videos sans the one re-upload. Also, since these videos have sort of turned into a monthly plans reading your comments hybrid, I will answer the question here at the beginning that I think is going to be the most asked in the comment section. I am officially going to be starting Doctor Who Series 7 next week. That is a promise. But with that being said, let's go ahead and read some comments. Two Gladiators had UK tryouts for the WWE this week, Cyclone and Bionic. I saw that. I mean, Bionic fits the bill, and I suppose Cyclone does too. They're both huge. How funny would it be if Cyclone just bailed as soon as she got signed? Like, she just joined the show. She's been on the show half a season. Imagine she just left for the WWE. It'd be double funny because one, she just started, and two, I was predicting since the show started that Diamond was going to be the one signed over there. So if she signs, I was technically correct about a future NXT star coming from Gladiators, just had the wrong one. Any plans for Happy Valley Season 2-3? You seem to love that? Maybe, and I did love it. It was an incredible show, but like, God, it was depressing. You know, like, holy shit, like, there was nothing happy about that valley, brother. Not a damn thing was happy about that valley. It was awesome, but fuck, it was fucked up. And I'd imagine the next couple series, next two seasons are probably the same. So I'm down to do it. I just gotta like, I can't just it's one of those things where it's like, I can't just wake up and be like, you know what? I think I'll watch Happy Valley today. I gotta prep for that shit. I feel like you've not done Darren Brown for a while. I recently rewatched A Great Art Robbery, which is one of my favorites. I'd like to see your reaction to that. I'm down, but I do have a Darren Brown thing on the request list that I've been thinking about doing recently. Might do this month. It is Apocalypse. I watched The Apprentice as a comedy show. Honestly, you know what? That's probably the best way to watch it. Because, I mean, if you try to watch it as anything other than that, it's probably just going to piss you off. At least the Happy Birthday segment from Harry Hill wasn't the Breaking Bad Happy Birthday song. Oh, God, why'd you make me remember that? That's maybe the best show I've ever seen, but God, I can't rewatch that part. They used to call him the Jimmy Savile of Peckham. I was waiting for your reaction to that line to not disappoint. I mean, fuck, how a line has changed. Like, that was supposed to be have a positive connotation when it was said at the time, but my God, how that line has evolved. The Only Fools episode, Hole in One, was originally supposed to be the opening episode of Series 4, and there are even behind-the-scenes photos of Del Rodney and Granddad filming outside the courthouse in the Nag's Head. I actually looked those up. I saw those. But of course, Leonard Pierce's sudden death less than a week later meant they had to push things back a couple of weeks so that John Sullivan could quickly write Happy Returns and Strained Relations to explain at Granddad's absence, his funeral, and introduce Uncle Albert. They then had to alter all the other scripts to incorporate Uncle Albert and go back and refilm all the hole-in-one location shots now of Buster Merrifield, I'm sorry. The changes also meant that during the court scenes, we lost a chance to finally learn Granddad's full name, Edward Kitchener Trotter. You know, I actually did some research on that myself, and I found an interview of David Jason talking about it, and he said that he thought when it happened initially, he said he thought it was over. Like, the show was over. Like, that was it. Like, we're not gonna be able to keep going. Like, that's it, it's done. But they had a TV contract, so I mean, they couldn't do that. But I mean, the interview was heartbreaking, honestly, just because you could see how much it affected him. Only Fools and Horses is repeated all the time over here, but it's the first time I've heard the uncensored "it's bullshit" line when Dale is talking to Mickey in the pub. Normally on repeats, it's just an awkward jump cut after it's cows. Remarkable because they haven't censored a Jimmy Savile line. Huh, that's interesting. Well, I guess shout out to the person who uploaded the Only Fools episodes to the Internet Archive, then. They had the good ones. June is the date that Dell takes to the opera on the Royal Flush. Understandable if you blocked that out. I did block that out. I did block that out. Got you, yeah. Jesus, that episode just... Yeah, there's a reason I blocked it out. Unrelated to this video, but I just found out that Line of Duty is set to return. I saw that. Very happy to hear that. Mainly because, I mean, the last series was surprisingly subpar, And the final episode, as it currently stands, was maybe the worst episode of the whole show, which, like, shocked the hell out of me, brother, because, like, that was, as a whole, one of the most well-written shows I've ever seen. So, like, for it to just end on a wet fart was so surprising to me. So I'm very happy to hear it's going to get another series, and hopefully it can get a ending this time more worthy of the show. My headcanon from Animals of the Farthing Wood is that the newts were fine. The marsh that they made their home would be too wet for the brush fire to spread to that area before the firefighters fought it back, especially if they stayed in the water the whole time. Yeah, I guess we'll see if we get any explanation at all, that is, but I don't know. I've been told to expect death in this show, so if we do get an explanation, or we do find out what happened to him, I'm expecting the worst. You got any Top of the Pops or ITV Chart Show 1990, Ask You Daniel? Possibly, if I can find one not hosted by a pedophile. Man, the Gladiator semifinals were brilliant. I personally think I can see who's gonna win. Moose, I agree they need to scrap Powerball. Well, you're going to win. Oh, you think Moose was going to win? Well, you were wrong, but I agree they need to scrap Powerball in the semifinals. Yeah, I mean, it's just not worth it, brother, you know? Like, that's 2 years in a row. I'm pretty sure it was Powerball in Series 1, too. 2 years in a row that someone's gotten hurt in that could have won the damn show, you know? So, like, I love Powerball. It's great. It's violent, but, like, it's not worth it having that late, you know? Like, I think scrapping it in entirety would be an overreaction, but I think they should keep it to heats only. Do you plan to do Horrible Histories in double headers? I think you get through it a lot faster this way. Yeah, that might be a good idea, because originally I was planning on doing what I did with a lot of first series of show, going through, a lot of times with first series I like to go through them in single episodes, and then once I get to multiple series, I do multiple episodes. But, Horrible Histories is 13 episodes a series. So, yeah, going double headers might be a good call. You might recognize the guy who played Jimmy in Original Pern. He was in Fawlty Towers, the doctor who wanted sausages. Oh, yeah, I'm a doctor and I want my sausages. You know, funny actually, you might bring up Fawlty Towers. I recently moved those episodes from Dailymotion to Dropbox because Dailymotion recently has been deleting stuff and not telling me. So, I'm probably going to navigate all the other stuff over there, too. I have in-betweeners backed up just in case. Yeah, I decided to not take the risk of Fawlty Towers, and I've already navigated that to Dropbox. I know I really love your Wallace and Gromit reactions. Wonder if you would plan to react to Chicken Run. I've actually done a movie review of Chicken Run on my movie review channel, 316 Reviews, which you can find in the video description. It's the first link below the Patreon names. I did that in November, I think. CITV isn't available anymore. It closed in 2022. It's still available just as a morning block on ITV2 now. Really? That's, I guess, a little surprising. I guess maybe kids nowadays are more on the internet than they are watching television now, so I guess I get it. The Menace was actually a contestant on Chase back in 2017. In the final Chase, he answered 14 of the 19 correct answers himself, going and lead the team, and he donated all the winnings to charity. Damn, and then he got a job? That's a pretty sweet gig, honestly. Wouldn't mind more Golden Balls, Noah. You make it even more enjoyable to watch. I'd be down. It seems very controversial from some people I've seen, but honestly, it's like, it's so fucking ridiculous that I think it works, honestly. And I think it works good for reaction videos, too. I think that it's good. It's a good show designed to react to be reacted to. So yeah, I'd be down. If you can find any online reaction to Wanted, it would be good. It's essentially the same premise as Hunted in a duo or tract, but they have to complete a task every day, move 10 kilometers square grids of the UK, never returning to one after leaving it, and be on camera in a public phone box for duration of an hour live show at the end of the week. Huh. That's interesting concept. I can't tell if that's worse or better, to be honest, but I'd be down to watch it. Regarding what happened to Steel and Bionic in Gladiator's final, both picked up shoulder injuries, I think in the semifinals end due to how quickly everything was filmed and they were ruled out, hence Apollo and Legend triple booking. Got you. Well, good they fought to their help. It's a damn shame, though, that they weren't booked for the finals, because they both had great series. They both really stepped up. I think the Wall Race and Gladiators was put there as a test run for a new variation in the next series. You might be right, to be honest, and I would be down to see it, because I thought it was a lot of fun. Doing a lot of game shows lately. Any chance going back to old series like Goodnight Sweetheart or something? Going back to old series? Sure. Going back to Goodnight Sweetheart? Probably not. I've said this multiple times, but the reason I stopped doing Goodnight Sweetheart is because I wasn't enjoying it, to be perfectly honest. So I would say the chances of me going back to it are minimal. When the original Howl played, the theme tune was a Native American-style drumming. At the end, presenters held up their hands and shouted "Howl." For some reason, they changed that. Yeah, you know, I can't imagine why. 198 episodes? How could they not do 2 more? It is kind of annoying, isn't it? Like, I don't have OCD or anything, but stopping 198 episodes, it has been annoying. I'm glad you skipped the pilot episode of Two Doors Down. It's a tough watch. Honestly, that wasn't even intentional. I straight up forgot there was a pilot. I think I knew it at one point, but I forgot, to be honest. I hope that's not the episode Shoobs requested, though. I don't remember. She requested it a very long time ago, and I haven't heard from her in a bit, so I honestly don't know if it was the pilot. Shoobs, if you're watching this and the pilot was the one you requested, I'm sorry, but you know. Two Doors Down is the worst Scottish comedy I've ever seen. Jokes weren't funny, and the idea of being in a house for the majority of 30 minutes is boring. Guessing you were not a fan of the royal family then. I had 2 Bad News albums. It has talking, arguing, and then music. The first track is just like a documentary when they're at a rock gig, crowd chanting "fuck off, bad news" on key, then throwing stuff. It's a very normal rock gig in the 80s. That sounds interesting. I've done a couple audio reactions, just a couple, but I don't know, I feel like that could fit the bill, maybe. The Monsters of Rock Festival is what the Download Festival is nowadays? Oh, okay. I've heard the Download Festival. Well, in that case, that festival's been going a long-ass time. Never seen someone enjoy Tim Vine so little. Yeah, it's just, an hour was too much of that, brother. Like, if it was like 20 minutes, I feel like it would have been fine. But like, fuck, just so many puns for an hour. It was just... it was too much for me. I like the nods of previous Wallace and Gromit adventures and Vengeance Most Foul, Moonbeam Cheese for Captcha, from Grand Day Out, Devers being the antagonist, Wrong Trousers, Motorbike and Sidecar returns, Close Shave, Policeman is back, Were Rabbit. Even the farmer from Shaun the Sheep got a cameo, but unless I missed it, I didn't spot a Loaf and Death reference anyway. Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure if I did either. Maybe they couldn't think of anything just because they killed the main villain at the end of Loaf and Death. Can we agree that the blue diamond is a lot bluer in Vengeance Most Foul than it is in the Wrong Trousers? You know, I noticed that. I don't think I said it, but I was thinking that. I maybe didn't say it because maybe I was thinking I was wrong, but I'm glad to hear I'm not the only one because it definitely seemed more blue. I think the 2002 thing that was the last most watched in history before Vengeance Most Foul was the last only full special, but I'm not sure. Isn't that when the show ended? That would make sense. When it came to lads in Battle Lads Army that wanted to leave, when they signed up for a show as part of the rules, they were given a 24-hour cooling off period, so they can ask to leave. 24-hour period takes effect, which they'll be asked again if they want to go. Got you. Okay, because I was wondering why they made a homie like wait till the next day. I was like, he wants to get out of here, let me get out of here. But honestly, that makes sense, and it's probably a good rule. I feel like that Liam Neeson train program was just an excuse for him to wear a lot of cool costumes. You know what? Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm sure he had fun doing it. The fast tune played on harmonica is an Irish traditional tune called The Maid Behind the Bar, if anyone's interested. Okay, I don't think I knew the name of it. Completely unrelated, but next round of commercial videos need to include the Lynx advert with the dogs. Well, Yoshi's the one who makes those, so Yoshi, if you're watching this, Lynx advert with the dogs. For context about the joke about weatherman Michael Fish in Noel's house party and his forecasts, Michael Fish was a respected BBC weatherman, and one day someone contacted BBC to say there was a massive storm approaching, and Michael went on TV to say, "Don't worry, it is going to be mild." Not only was he wrong, there was a storm, but it was the worst storm in British history, so powerful it knocked over a whole forest. It's forever been known as the Great Storm. Yeesh. That sort of reminds me of fucking the Rush Limbaugh thing a couple years ago when there's a hurricane like 2012 or whatever, and Rush Limbaugh, who was a right-wing conspiracy theorist nut job, went on his radio show and told his audience, there's not going to be a hurricane, don't worry. And then fucking pussy evacuated because of the incoming hurricane. Alright, y'all, that's going to do it for another episode of Reading Your Comments. Again, to repeat, I'll be starting Doctor Who Series 7 next week. But all the comments in that episode were pulled from all the reaction videos I did in April, as well as the March 2025 edition of Reading Your Comments. So, if you want a chance to get your comment read in next month's edition, which is technically this month's edition, then you can comment either on this video or any of the reaction videos that I do during the month of May. But that is going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. If you liked the video, be sure to leave it a like. If you didn't like it, don't. If you want to follow any of my social media links, they're all in the video description. Well, names all my Patreons. You didn't know you could be Patreon me for as little as $1 or £1. And you get extra direction videos, as well as reading comments daily, sometimes more. With all being said, though, my name's Taffer C. It's been my April 2025 edition of Reading Your Comments, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.